Welcome back to Disrespect Media. This is Jay here. So today we got Call of Duty Vanguard. We're just talking about the online aspect as well as the campaign about Call of Duty. So what we have here, we have four characters: Sergeant Arthur Kingsley, Lieutenant Polina Petrova, Private Lucas Riggs, and we have Lieutenant First Class Wade Jackson. Four of these characters got compelling stories to tell, and obviously this is explained throughout the campaign within Call of Duty Vanguard. So let's get straight into it. In typical Call of Duty fashion, a big blockbuster campaign, telling a particular story, and obviously you would just have to go through waves of enemies trying to get to the end of it. Normally, Call of Duty campaigns normally last for about between 5 to 8 hours, I think, depending on the playing style and depending on the difficulty. So from what I've gathered from the campaign itself, quite compelling. I did take a little break away from Call of Duty. I think the last one was World at War. So on the PS5, obviously we got the Vanguard, which is the latest one for this year's entry. So from what I found within Vanguard, quite good. Each character got their own personality. Each of them got their own perks and so-called superpowers. And then you just have to use those abilities to make your way through the campaign. For what I find is the graphics on the campaign itself is very dynamic, I'd say. I think it's quite good. For the PS5 itself, for next generation console, it's quite good. Even the first entry or your first mission when you're on the train, the lighting effects, the rain effects, excellent. The particles within the game is quite good. So I made sure that actually showed off what these next generation consoles can do. For my reaction to that, I was more wild by it. I did get engaged to the story, I'd say, but I was more in tune with the graphics itself, because for the single player campaign, the lighting and the shading, the tessellation, saying the greenery in some levels, because you go through different levels throughout the campaign as well. I just don't want to give away too much if people still trying to play the campaign. Most people don't really care after, after a couple of hours they go straight into the multiplayer. But it's a good entry in terms of from the developers of Sledgehammer. I think they've done a good job here. One of the negative things to point out is within the campaign, as you playing through the level and you're trying to shoot your way through, ammo can be a bit scarce. So I don't know why they've done that. Normally Call of Duty can be a bit more forgiving in terms of giving out ammo, but I'm just playing on the normal difficulty. I don't really play on anything easy or hard. I just play on just normal standard. So if there's a normal mode, I just play on the normal mode where it's supposed to be expected to play. The story is good, but you find yourself being a bit repetitive. So go through here, clear these guys out, go over there, clear these guys out. Then sometimes you get the squares ahead of enemies, and you're just like, that's all you gotta do. But there are some dynamic parts, entries to the in the mission itself. Some parts where you're doing a bit of, I wouldn't say quick time events, but you may traversing through vehicles. You may be running around. You try to do many different things to kind of make you not be too bored. But I did wish that they could add something a bit different with these campaigns. I still think that they could have made something different. For me, in my opinion, is that if you could try to give some sort of give a bit more of a background towards the characters, or something you can try to relate to, bearing in mind that these stories are based off stories from back in World War II. So these are real life events that did happen, so these things did actually happen back then. It's just it's told in a different fantasy way as well, or the fantasy twist towards those stories, which I do find quite good. I do understand that, and I think that's not to try not to make it a bit more of a boring entry. I wouldn't have thought Call of Duty would have went back to World War II, because I think it's oversaturated now. I think that we should just leave that alone for a number of years. But typically, obviously, they want to show off the next gen graphics. Let's put it back to World War II or these olden times games. just to go and show off the graphics. Onto the multiplayer. Typical Call of Duty fashion. Give it a few days and then everybody's just going to be camping, snipers everywhere, lag within the game. You could literally, like, sometimes I keep thinking like the pings on this console can be a bit slow in terms of Call of Duty, because obviously you're able to play with other consoles like Xbox One, and you can play against people on PC. I don't think that the PC does have a bit of an advantage, because especially if you've got a lobby full of PC players, I don't think your team, your team's gonna win if it's gonna be PlayStation versus PC. And I know sometimes they try to mix it up a little bit to make it even fairer, but I do have some troubles where, from amazing distance, people are able to get me or eliminate me from the game, or take me down, should I say? And it's just something that they need to come with some kind of balance. I think they have that in mind anyway, some kind of aim assist in some sorts, because I still think that the game needs to be worked on a little bit in terms of making a match a little bit fairer. What I don't like about the multiplayer is that you're not able to, like before, you were able to vote on a match, or vote on a particular map, should I say, sorry. That was something that was able to do, but now it's kind of like you're forced to play on every single map, and some of these maps are terrible, where you're able to end up in a spawn trap. Most of them, they know how to do that. So again, these players have actually, within a few days, there's sometimes people just camp everywhere. They just don't really move around the place. But for me, I prefer to move around the map. It just makes it a bit more dynamic when I play, and just makes it a bit more enjoyable. In the future, I will be uploading a few more multiplayer games, matches, just to show, like, obviously my skills. I'm not like as good as most of these guys out here that I have seen, but obviously I can get a bit busy. Doing matches. But some matches can be just terrible, because obviously they spawn trap you, or again they rush you and just work as a team, as I said. So normally I'm on losing team for some reason, I don't know why. So I keep thinking that I need to work out some kind of balance on this game. But again, of course, I just hope you do like this video. Please like and subscribe. More videos coming to you next. Thank you.